So how many of you know that I joined Capgemini Technology as a fresher? Yes, I was recruited by Capgemini Technology on the campus placements when I was in my 4th year. And in today's video, I will discuss the detailed process of Capgemini Technology's hiring. So in this video, you will find about the type of questions, their marking schemes, the elimination rounds, what are the questions they asked in their interviews, and many more. Before we go on and take a deep dive into the entire hiring process for freshers, I would like to request you to subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon so that you never miss another video. I aim to bring a lot more video in this series of all about Capgemini and give you all of the required information that you need to know if and when you are aiming to join Capgemini Technology. So the agenda of today's video will be something like this. First, we'll discuss about the registration, then we'll move on to discuss about the various rounds that were there in the hiring process, and in the end, I will discuss the interview questions that were asked to me, and in the end, I will mention one bonus tip that is very important, and it is one of the selection criteria that I realized when I was in that interview. So a lot of information is coming up in this video. I would request you to watch this video from the start to the end to not miss anything about the hiring process of Capgemini Technology. So let's get started. The registration process of Capgemini Technology was something like this. Initially, our placement head brought the people of Capgemini Technology in our college and they gave us an online form which we were told to fill there and then, and it was kind of a basic screening. They had some basic questions in their form like your name, your phone number, your email address, and some of the skill sets that you have, and all of those things were present in that form, wherein you had to fill all the skill sets and your CGPA, your department, and everything, and all of those details. This went for the screening. And in one day, the list of students who were selected for the hiring process came out, and we were told to send our resumes to an email address. This was not an elimination round. We just sent our resumes and all of us were called to the hiring process of Capgemini Technology. The entire hiring process took 3 days, but since a weekend happened in between, it was a total of 5 days for us, for our college. So in the first day, as I said, it was just the basic screening of your of the form that they had sent, and post that you had to send your resumes. The day one ended there. On the second day, we had the written round. So now if I see, there are actually 4 rounds that happened in totality. There were 2 written rounds and then 2 interview rounds that happened. We'll one by one discuss about each of the rounds. So the first written round had 3 sections: quantitative aptitude, logical reasoning, and English. Now, even these 3 sections were further subdivided into 2 parts of the exam. So the exam was for a total of 60 minutes. However, in the first 40 minutes, it was only for quantitative aptitude and logical reasoning. So there were 30 questions and you had 40 minutes. You had to solve those QA and logical reasoning questions. I would not say that the level of questions was very difficult. It was pretty easy, and it was not CAT level. It was pretty easy, and anyone who has been preparing for interview and preparing for the written rounds of interview will be easily able to crack that part of it. So quantitative aptitude and logical reasoning was a pretty fair test. Post that, once you have completed whenever you start the test, there's a counter that starts on. After the 40-minute gets complete, it automatically submits that paper irrespective of whether you have submitted or whether you have completed or not. After that comes the English section, wherein every screen gets one pop-up, one topic on which you have to write. It's like an essay writing, you can say, and you have to write for approximately 150 to 200 words. So, and the topic is different for each and every one, because when we discussed after coming out of the room, when we discussed within ourselves, we found that everyone got a different topic. Now, the trickiest part that came here was you do not have to hit backspace. So this was something that was counted. So I'm sorry, I missed one part. The marking scheme of the QA and LR, and aptitude round was +1 and -0.25. So here, when we come to the English round, here the marking scheme was not actually displayed to us. You just have to finish your essay within the time that is given and the word limit that is there. However, you have to make sure that you don't hit backspace. As soon as, so the number of backspaces you hit, that gets counted and that acts as a negative marking. This instruction was given to us that yes, the number of backspaces will be counted, and it was advised that we don't use backspace. However, it is very difficult because it's in our subconscious that as soon as we make a mistake, we hit a backspace. So one thing that I would suggest you that you need to take care when you are going for the English round of Capgemini Technology is that you get 20 minutes. So the first 5 minutes you take your time and think, because as soon as it reaches 200, it doesn't type any further. So you have to think of all the points, and you have to also think how to fit those points within the word span of 200. And also that you do not have the accessibility of using backspace. Of course it will work, but it will cost you the marks. So for the beginning 5 minutes, just think about what you are going to write, and the remaining 15 minutes you can type. 200 words in 15 minutes is an easy task, so better you think for it and then you go on to start typing it. After this entire 1 hour test was complete, we were told to go back to our hostels, and when the results will come, we'll be instructed likewise. So post giving, so this round happened in the first half, and post giving the exam, all of us went back. But their screening is very fast. So the results were displayed in the lunch break itself, and the selected students were again called for the round 2, the coding round. So round 2 was also a written round, but this was purely technical and it had all the coding questions only. So this round was, I won't say difficult, however, time management is a skill that you need in this round. The round was of 30 minutes and it had 30 questions. There were code snippets for which you had to find outputs. There were a code snippet in which some lines are missing, and the output was given that you want to obtain this output, what line you should put, and there were options. Everything was MCQ. You didn't have to write anything, any code. However, since there were code snippets, you have to do the dry run in your rough sheet and then put on the answer. So that took a lot of time. So there were just some minimal 2 or 3 theoretical questions related to, say, the operating system, or maybe 1 or 2 questions that were related to cloud computing. Only those were the theoretical questions that were asked. Else everything was a practical MCQ solvable question, I would say. And the one language that I found that they had focused majorly on was Java. So maximum, a majority of the questions that were there for the code snippet or maybe for the output, everything was written in Java language. Some were also written in C++. However, Java actually dominated the question paper. So yeah, the coding round had practical questions. They were all MCQ. However, they were practical. They had to be solved, and hence time management was a bigger skill than actually your coding. So I was able to solve 24 questions, and post coming out from the examination hall, I came to know that I had marked 2 of the answers incorrectly. So I knew that I am getting a score of 22. So, and later on, with all the different scores of the people who got selected, we came to know that out of 30, the qualifying score was 17, above which whoever had got, they were selected for the interview round. So now, after this 30 minutes of exam was over, we were again sent back, and also this was also an elimination round. So we were told that whoever's name is selected, they will be informed. That day ended there and then. So it was a Friday. I believe at 10 p.m. on Friday, we received the list of students who had qualified for the interview round. So the pace in which all the process was going on was very fast, I would say. It was a very good pace, and had it not been a Friday, the interview would have been conducted the next day itself. However, Saturday, Sunday is a holiday in my college, so the next working day was a Monday. So our interview round was scheduled for Monday, and we got 2 days of preparation. Now here comes that if Capgemini had come 1 day prior, like it came on Thursday and we had our first round on Thursday, but had it come on Wednesday, then it would be it would have been a bit problematic, because the results came at 10 p.m. and then the next morning at 9 a.m. we had to report to the interview room. So that would have been a bit problematic. Thankfully, that did not happen in my case, but I would always suggest that please do not keep your interview preparation for the last minute, because you won't get a chance. You might not get the window like I did to prepare for your interview questions. So better you prepare beforehand. Okay, like when you are preparing for your aptitude, analytical and your technical skill sets, you also prepare for your interview. Which, by the way, reminds me that I have also started an interview series on my channel, wherein I aim to cover all the interview questions that are often asked in an interview. Do give those videos a check. I have put the link in the description box. And with that, let's move ahead. Fast forward the weekend, here comes Monday. On Monday, we were asked to report at 9 a.m. sharp. One by one, they were calling the candidates for interview. Now, interview was also 2 rounds, techno-managerial and HR round, in which you first went to the techno-managerial and next you were sent for the HR round. However, the techno-managerial round was not an elimination round. So anyone who has qualified for the interviews was supposed to go to both the tables for both the rounds. So there were 2 panels. It completely depended on your luck to whichever panel you were sent it. So, however, the one thing that I found was there was no big panel. It was just a one-to-one discussion in both the panels. Okay, so there was one guy, one interviewer sitting in front of you, and he was asking some questions to the candidate. So I was also sent to one of the panelists. So my interview experience was something like this. He literally went through each and every point on my CV. Whatever was written, he looked into each and every point and he made sure he asked questions from all of it. Okay, there was not one single thing that he skipped. He just wanted to make sure that I knew what I had given and what I had presented in front of him as my resume. So here is something that I would give you as a tip. Please don't lie on your resume, and if you have written something, if you have mentioned something, there is a high probability that they will ask you. Also, there was this one question that they asked me, that I come from an electrical background, so why I wanted to make a switch. Now, it is a big answer, and I will definitely make a separate video on this. But I would like to say to whoever who is coming from a non-CS or non-IT background, please do figure out an answer to this one question, because this is one of the most probable questions that you will be facing in your interview, that why you want to make this shift. There were other technical questions also. He asked me questions on the OOPS concept and which were the languages that were following OOPS concept. Why is Java so dominating on the market and stuff like this. He just wanted to know whether I, not coming from a CSIT background, do I have the information about the latest market, what is going on and everything. So please keep yourself updated. That is also a must pointer. Keep yourself updated about the technology if you are going to attend an interview of any IT sector, any IT company. So the interview lasted for, I would say, 20-25 minutes, and these were some of the questions that he asked me. So he came from a maybe CSIT background, so he was very keen on knowing what electrical projects, how they work and everything. So I had to explain it in great detail so that he's able to understand. So that is why I'm saying this again and again, that please don't lie on your resume. There is a high probability that you will get caught if you are not able to answer any of the pointers that they might pick and ask. The techno-managerial round went really well, and he was pretty impressed, and yeah, he was smiling at the end. So you get to know by the expressions of the people that whether you are going to get selected or not. So next I was moved to the panel who was taking the HR interview. Now here also the HR who was sitting, there was only one HR who was sitting there. He did not really go through my resume because he thought that that part is already done. He was going through the rest of the part. He was going through my mark sheets. He was looking as in how as a student I am. So there was this one statement that he said, that I hope that you do not have any backs in any of your subjects in any semesters. So I said that no sir, I don't have any of the backs, but that is one thing that Capgemini Technology takes pretty seriously. They don't hire people, or they cause problems and issues for people who have received a back in any of their subjects during the entire college life. So even though I said that no sir, I don't have any backs, he said no issues, I believe you, but anyhow we will be having the background check and it will come to know even if you have. So I came to know that okay, it is a pretty compulsory and a mandatory thing that they don't consider candidates who have backs. So if you are aiming to go into Capgemini Technology as a fresher, that you do not get any backs in any of those exams. Next, the HR round was a pretty casual round, I would say. It was more of talking about our hobbies and the languages and exchanging our mother tongues. He also asked me to convert something into my mother tongue. He said a statement and then he asked me to convert it into my mother tongue because he wanted to hear it. So yeah, it was a pretty casual round. They just want to check your communication skills in that round. That is what I felt. The HR round was, I would say, the easiest of all. It was just a 10-minute discussion, 10 to 15 minutes discussion, and then I was sent back. And result came at 8 p.m. that night, and till then we were made to sit in that room only. And then at 8 p.m. they came with the results in their hand and they announced the names of the candidates who were selected. So this is how the entire 2-3 day process of Capgemini hiring looked like. Now here I would like to talk about the salary that Capgemini offers. Now there are 3 types of colleges, that is Tier 1 college, Tier 2 college and Tier 3 college. Starting from Tier 3 college, if Capgemini Technology comes to a Tier 3 college for their campus placement, the salary slab that they give to those students are 4 LPA. Now coming to my college, that is tier 2 college, here Capgemini Technology offers a salary of 6.8 LPA. Of course, this increases as you gain your experience and everything, and we will talk about the hikes and everything in the upcoming videos, which by the way reminds me that if you have still not subscribed to the channel, do subscribe it, because you will get to know a lot of inside information about Capgemini in this series. Okay, so moving ahead, the salary slab for a fresher coming from a tier 1 college, that is the IIT, 8.5 LPA. Now we have almost reached to the end of this video, and if you are liking this video and if you're liking the information, do put a thumbs up, and if you have any queries, do ask me, because this is something that I've experienced from the inside. I'm pretty sure that I'll be able to answer you. If there comes a scenario that I'm not able to, I have a lot of friends that are still in Capgemini. I can ask them and in turn answer you. So put your queries in the comment section below, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Okay, so if you have been with us till now, then this bonus tip is something you well deserve. What I found in my interview was there was this one person who was wearing a bright red shirt, and he was rejected for that. Yes, it might sound a bit weird, but they are very particular about your appearance. Best is you wear a white shirt, that is a universal color. Even if you want to wear colors, please go on for some pastel color. So take this as an important point and dress accordingly. Okay, so that was all for today's video. I have tried to give in all the basic minute details that had happened to me. And if you like this video, put a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and we'll meet again with another video on Capgemini Technology. Stay tuned with CareerQ. Thanks for watching.